Okay, this is a quick video of drawing a cat's eye with coloured pencils on Pastelmat. So I printed a black and white image. This is what I'm going to use to trace onto the Pastelmat. So I'll flip it over. So here's my Pastelmat. I'm just using like a yellowy colour. It's just a spare piece, and this is the Frisket that I'm going to use to hold it down. So this is like just a low tack tape, so it's not going to rip the paper when you take it off. Take the image and pop it on where we want it. Okay, so I'm ready now to transfer. So first of all, just go over the back with pastel pencil. So there we go, that should be enough. I'll turn that over, line it up. I'll just tape it down with another piece of Frisket, and then we're ready to trace that outline. Just check if it's coming through. There we go. So there we are. There's the image transferred to my paper. And now what I'll do now is just I'll use some low tack tape for the outside to mark the square. If you do have tape and you find it is too tacky, you can always just stick it to the palm of your hand, peel it off a couple of times, and that takes some of the stickiness away. So I'll just pop that on there. Okay, there we go, ready to go. So the first thing I'll do is the outline of the eye. So just do it quite lightly at first. And then the pupil. So I'm just doing this quite rough at first. I'll be changing the colour of the pencils from time to time. And the good thing about using pastel matte is you can put light over dark, whereas it's virtually impossible on paper. So as you can see, I'm just going in quite lightly and not worrying too much about detail at the moment. So really all I'm doing at the moment is setting up the tones, just marking out the dark areas, and then I'll be darkening these further and building up the colours. Okay, so I'm going to start on the eye now. So I'll begin with a cream and just lay like a base on. And then I'll build that up with some green. So I'm going to put some white on now, which will be followed by some more yellow and green. I'll get them highlighted. And there's another one there. More cream. So I'm using Warm Grey 6. I just want to get all this part that surrounds the eye dark enough. There's a couple of white pieces of fur. Just pop a few of those in. So as you can see, I'm doing it quite rough, and you can add to this. You can build up with different shades of brown. It's not essential to get the exact colour. You're just going for as near as you can. You can always change it with a bit more of another colour. So it's it's a matter of building up all these layers of fur. And if they look too dark, you can always go over with a lighter colour, because it will take, it just takes the edge off the darkness and gives it more dark brown colour. I'll flick the pencil and the edge there for individual hairs. And I want this little bit more red. So this one is Illuminance Raw Umber 10%. I use it in just about all of my pet portraits. It's really good for the fur. So normally I don't go this quick, but I just wanted to make a little demo to show how I do them without taking too long. Individual strokes to fill in the background, to remove the yellow of the pastel matte. And I'll keep building this up. You can flick the pencil outwards, you can always pull it inwards. So as you can see, I'm just building up details there. I keep going in with different coloured pencils. I'm going in between some of the previous pencil strokes. Quite dark in this area, so I'll fill some of that in. But I'm doing it all in like a random kind of way. You don't have to do every single hair exactly how you see it. You can if you like, but it depends how much detail you want. For me, I'm not too concerned. So you can see some parts of it I'm doing like individual strokes, and then other parts I'm doing like a shading. So you do a bit of both. Put some more white in there. If you find that I'm using the Polychromos white here, but if you find it's not quite white enough, a Caran d'Ache Museum Aquarelle is for me the whitest of all the whites. So if you need to get extra shine in there, you can try one of those. So now going with the dark sepia, and start putting in some of those much darker shades. You can see here I'm going in quite random, different directions with the fur. Generally when you're doing a pet portrait you follow the direction of the fur, but because this is blown up and it's fairly hazy, I don't think it matters too much. So I'm just adding some lighter brown around the eyes. This area I'll change later. I'll add more darker browns and reddy browns. So I'm just going around those little white pieces of fur there. So I can change the length of them and the direction. So as with the fur, with the with the eye, I'm just building up the different shades of green. If your portrait if you want your portrait to be super accurate, you can test all your different shades on a piece of scrap beforehand to match them up. You can also use the app Colour Picker. Or depending whether you want it to be super accurate, you can just pick them as you go, bit of trial and error. So I like to do a bit of trial and error, just try different things as I go. See, I know there's a blue in there, so I'm just using a a sky blue, and then I can change it a bit deeper with a deeper green. So this part is quite a browny colour. And then there's some brown just around the edges. So I'll add some of that, just blend that in. Like that. So now I think a little bit more green. This is olive green yellowish. So if you're doing your colours as like a trial and error as you go along, you'll find some colours, you'll put them on and you'll only put a tiny bit and you think that doesn't work, and then you can stop and it's not a disaster because you've only put a little bit on, and then you'll find others, you'll come to put them on and you think that's absolutely perfect. And the more you do, the more you'll come to understand the pencils that you own, the different colours and what shades work with other shades and what don't work so well. Because some pencils will layer over other pencils really, really well. And then there's some which are not so well. So I'm using this just to blend in some of those. This is the cream. Then the warm grey, warm grey 6. Just going to go around the highlights. Just darken those a touch, blend it a little bit. Maybe a little on the eye. So don't be afraid to use dark colours on the eye, because you only put them on lightly. They do make all the difference, especially in a cat's eye, because they're when you draw in a cat's eye, when you're studying and you're coming up with the different colours to use, you realise that there are so many different colours in a cat's eye. So just got like a purpley blue. This is indigo blue. Just put a touch of that there. So you're only putting small amounts, but it makes a difference. And here where I've put some here, I've just added a touch to the fur, and it's these little touches that make the difference and add a bit more realism into your drawing. So really you could use just about every colour that you can think of. Blues, yellows, greens, reds, purples. You can add a little touch of all of them. But that's the thing, just using a little touch. If you do too much, if you get carried away, you can spoil it. So again, just going in darker now. I'm trying to stick to the colour of the pastel mat to fill it in a bit more. So by doing it this way, putting the individual strokes, you're getting the texture of the fur. You're also filling in the paper, and you can leave room for other colours to go on there. You can, if you wanted, blend it, you know, but I prefer to add the individual colours. I think it has more of an impact on the final drawing. So here I'm just doing again more little random strokes, some light, some with a firm pressure. And where I've put the white on, the darker pencils, if you do it lightly, the white stays white and the dark just kind of floats around them. So as you can see from what I've done, it's not entirely accurate. The colours are not spot on. The textures, they're not 100%, but they're enough. So now I'll start to use, this is a warm grey 4, which I find is a really useful pencil, because you can get the darks with it and also the lighter colours. So there I'm using it now to fill in the background. So most of the yellowy background is disappearing now. The there's still some left over on this side. It's useful for the colouring of the fur. So again, this is kind of random. Some of the strokes are what they're supposed to be, and others are just random. And then there's parts where you give it a little scrub, and that scrubs your colour in. If it's not dark enough, go in with a darker colour. Add a little bit more. Same up here. I find doing these kind of patches work. So you just take the pencil and just give it a little, you're just scrubbing it in really. So I'll go darker again. This is dark sepia. And I do this with the really detailed pet portraits, just these tiny patches, because they are there. And if they're too round and blobby, just change the shape, just add a bit of a tail on it, or just move it around a little bit. So there we are, I'm nearly done with this now. Just a few random darker strokes, just little ones here and there. Make this bit a bit darker. I also recommend standing back from your drawing. If it's on your workbench like this one is, just stand up, or even put it a few feet across the room, just to double check. You get a different perspective from a distance. If you're doing a drawing that's taking you an awful long time, if it's taking hours and hours, days and days, I'd check on it more regular. So like I say, this is a fairly quick demo. You can work at your own speed. It doesn't have to be so quick if you don't want it to be. This one's ash grey, Pablo. So when you like grey, would do this part. It's probably preferable to use the white. Just save the white for your highlights. Just blend that a bit. So now I'll just go in with black lightly. This one's a Derwent Light Fast Mars Black. It's a very deep brown really. It's a very deep reddy brown. So I'll put bits of that here and there. So now using terracotta just to bring up the orangey brown around the eye there, and there just touches of it. If you go in too much and it's too orange, a little bit of brown will bring it back. And then this is quite a rich colour, burnt sienna, so we'll throw some of that in. And again, I like to throw random colours around the drawing, just a touch, just to make a difference. Well, blue. Use the grey to bring this down a touch. Some more of the green. And then I think the last thing will be the warm grey 6. I should sharpen this, but it's got an edge, it should be okay. And then finally the black. darken that more. So it's by stepping back that you can spot these things that definitely needed to be darkened. Touch more there. And that needs to go darker. So there we are. I think that's about it. So there we are. That's a quick demonstration of cat's eye with coloured pencils on pastel mat. So yeah, if you enjoyed watching that demo, I've got more coming up. I've got some already on my YouTube. So yeah, if you want to subscribe, you'll hear about them first. Thanks for watching.